Did you know that not all bees produce honey? Mind-boggling, right? Today we're setting the record straight on some of your favorite creatures, starting with our buzzy friends. Contrary to popular belief, it's not every bee that's in the honey-making business. In fact, it's a specific species, the aptly named honeybee, that's responsible for the sweet nectar we love. Other bee species may contribute to pollination, but when it comes to honey production, they're not in the game. So remember, not all bees are as sweet as honey. Ever heard the phrase blind as a bat? Well, it's all a big misunderstanding. Here's the truth. Bats aren't blind at all. In fact, they have quite good eyesight. It's just that they've evolved to rely on a superpower that we humans can only dream of: echolocation. Imagine being able to navigate your way around a pitch-black cave at breakneck speed, or catching tiny insects in midair, and all without bumping into anything. That's a day in the life of a bat. They use echolocation, sending out sound waves that bounce off objects and return to them, giving them a sonic map of their surroundings. So, next time you fumble in the dark, don't compare yourself to a bat. They've got it all figured out. Think touching a frog will give you warts? Think again. This is one of the most riveting misconceptions out there. Frogs and toads, despite their bumpy, warty-looking skin, are not the culprits behind those pesky warts on your hands. You can't catch warts from these innocent hoppers. Warts are actually caused by human papillomavirus, or HPV, not the adorable amphibians. So those tales of warty witches and toads, just a piece of folklore. The truth is, our slippery friends are more likely to be found lounging on lily pads or catching pesky insects than causing dermatological distress. So you can kiss that frog without fear, unless it turns into a prince, of course. Bulls hate the color red, right? Wrong. Plot twist, folks. Contrary to the popular belief, bulls couldn't care less about the color red. Yes, you heard it right. No, we're not pulling your leg. Bulls are actually colorblind to red. So what's all the fuss about in a bullfighting ring, you ask? Well, it's not the red cape that infuriates these muscular animals, it's the movement. Bulls respond to the motion of the object, not its color. It's the matador's provocative waving of the cape that gets the bull all riled up. So, next time you watch a bullfight or read a story about a bull, remember, it's not about seeing red, it's about seeing the bull. So, it's not the red cape that gets the bull, but the way it's waved. Believe that bears are always out to get humans? You might want to reconsider. You see, the common belief that bears are inherently dangerous to us humans is more of a myth than a fact. Sure, they're big, they're strong, and they've got teeth and claws that can make anyone shudder. But the truth is, bears typically avoid humans unless they're provoked or have been conditioned to associate us with food. And no, not because they think we're tasty morsels. They're more interested in our picnic baskets than in us. So, when you're in bear country, remember to keep your food well stored and give these majestic creatures their space. After all, they're just trying to live their lives, just like us. Remember, bears are more afraid of us than we are of them, most of the time anyway. Think goldfish have a 3-second memory? Think again. This is one of those myths that's been swimming around for far too long. In reality, these little creatures are far from being forgetful. Scientific studies have shown that goldfish can actually remember things for up to 5 months. That's right, 5 whole months. That's longer than some of us can remember what we had for dinner last week. These fishy friends are capable of learning and retaining information, debunking the myth of their short-lived memory. They can recognize different shapes, colors, and even sounds. Who knew our finned friends were such brainiacs? So next time you walk past your goldfish tank, remember, they probably recognize you, so your little goldfish may remember you after all. Ever been told not to touch a baby bird because its mother will abandon it? Well, that's just not true. Let's debunk this feathery fiction. Contrary to popular belief, most birds have a rather poor sense of smell. They're not going to get a whiff of your perfume or aftershave on their chick and fly off into the sunset, abandoning their offspring. In fact, their parenting instincts are stronger than a bit of alien scent. However, it's essential to remember that while they won't abandon their young due to our scent, it's still best not to disturb wildlife unnecessarily. If you find a baby bird out of its nest, helping it back isn't a death sentence, but a helping hand. So while it's best not to disturb wildlife, if you find a baby bird out of its nest, help it back. Think all mice love cheese? Well, you might be surprised. We've all seen the cartoons, the little critters sneaking a nibble of cheddar from a mousetrap. But in reality, this is more myth than fact. Our furry friends are actually more attracted to foods with a high sugar content. Yes, you heard that right. Mice prefer sweets over savory. They're more likely to be found stealing a crumb of cake or a piece of fruit than nibbling on a block of cheese. They have a sweet tooth, just like many of us. So, next time you set a mousetrap, skip the cheddar and go for the sweet stuff. Think wasps are more dangerous than bees? Not necessarily. We've all heard the terrifying tales of wasp stings, their ability to strike multiple times, and the painful aftermath. But here's a plot twist. They're not typically aggressive unless provoked. That's right. Wasps are largely misunderstood creatures, busy doing their own thing, buzzing about and minding their business. Just like you wouldn't appreciate someone barging into your space, wasps feel the same way. They sting not out of malice, but self-defense. And while their stings can pack a punch, remember, honeybees can cause severe allergic reactions too. So while wasps might seem scary, they're just doing their thing. Just give them space, and they'll do the same for you. Ever heard that porcupines can shoot their quills? Well, that's a prickly lie. Here's the point, folks. Porcupines are not equipped with some sort of biological quill gun. What actually happens is that when a porcupine feels threatened, it will raise and fan out its quills, making it look larger and more intimidating. Now, if you were to come into contact with these quills, they could easily detach and stick into you. But let's be clear, the porcupine isn't shooting them at you. It's more like you're walking into a stationary set of spikes. So, while porcupines might look sharp, they're not out to get you with a quill attack. Think chameleons change their colors to blend in? Not always. The color-changing marvels of the animal kingdom, chameleons, have long been believed to change their colors for camouflage. But let's bust this myth right now. These little artists primarily change colors as a form of communication and temperature regulation. Yes, you heard it right. They are basically walking, talking mood rings. When they're feeling relaxed, they might show off a calm blue, but when they're irked, they could turn a fiery red. And when it's cold, they darken their color to absorb more heat. So chameleons are more about mood rings than hiding in plain sight. Well, there you have it, folks. The truth behind some of the most common animal myths. Remember, when it comes to understanding our furry, feathered, and scaled friends, it's always best to rely on facts, not myths. Until next time, tap that like button, comment, subscribe, and stay curious.